Number 172430, we are on the record in the matter of Patricia Carmean versus Patrick Hickey. You are seeking a civil stalking protection order against Patrick C. Hickey.
That is correct, yes.
Can you raise your right hand?
Certainly.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Can you state your name?
My name is Patricia Elizabeth Carmean.
And how do you know Mr. Hickey?
I am presently on the Washington Local School Board. He was our superintendent up until December of 2015. I also was employed in the school district. I was a teacher and I retired in 2013. So I know him in that capacity as when I was an employee, and now I'm on the school board.
So you were a teacher in the district?
I
until
was.
2013. Is Mr. Hickey also on the school board?
No, he was the superintendent, but he resigned in December of 2015.
Okay, sounds like there's some history in this matter. Can you give me a brief history of this relation?
Okay.
First of all, you're not involved in a romantic relationship.
No.
You have no children together.
No.
You've never lived together.
No.
Okay. So what is the nature of this conflict?
Okay, I believe, actually it started so long ago it's hard to remember. Unfortunately, as a school board member, it was brought to my attention, as along with my 4 other board members, that the superintendent at the time, Patrick Hickey, was having an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Okay, and I obviously cannot go into details about that. It was investigated, he was put on leave, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, I should say blah, blah, blah. And it was determined by our legal department that we could not do anything other than to give him a written reprimand, which he was given. When he was given the written reprimand, it stated, you will not retaliate, intimidate, harass, and lots of other words, any employees, staff members, community members, board members. Okay, so he got his job back. He was on vacation. On October 30th, I had gone to Wildwood Fitness Center because I was going to sign up to see how much it cost to sign up. It was in the evening. It was about 6:40 p.m. He was at the fitness center. I saw his car because I know his car and I know the license plate. I chose not to go in because I didn't want to have any contact. I waited in my car. I drive an Explorer, so it's a big car. I waited till he came out. Unfortunately, another fellow teacher, a woman, came out before he did. And then he came out about 5 minutes later. He kind of looked my way. I didn't hide, I didn't take a picture of him, I just sat in my car. And he proceeded to go to his car. I waited a few more minutes because I wanted him to leave because I was pretty much intimidated. So I thought, okay, I'm not gonna let him do this to me, I'm gonna go in because I wanna find out. But when I went in, I was a little rattled, and I immediately called a fellow board member, and he told me to call the president of the board, which I did. The president said, I'll see you, there was a football game that night, he said, I'll see you at the game, we'll talk about this. Well, about 6:30, now this is around 6 o'clock that he has come out of the Wildwood to get into his car, and around 6:30, as I was going back to my home, and I live very close to Wildwood, about 2 miles away, I get a text message from Patrick Hickey on my phone, and it says, following me to my gym has crossed the line. I fear for my life and my family. And I did not respond. And then I that, then I called my board member again, my president, and he goes, okay, we'll talk at the game. Well then, I go to the game, we didn't talk. And the next morning, I was on my way to another meeting of a group that I belong to. My president called me, Mr. Ilstrup called me, the president of the board, and he goes, Patty, have you read your emails today? I said, no, I have not. Patrick Hickey has sent out an email to 850 employees, people that I worked with, stating that I am talking to staff members about his leadership. Complete lies. This was about 12:02 a.m. in the morning on October 31st. So
we're talking about October 31st of 2015.
2015,
Okay.
I'm sorry, it should be more specific.
Okay, so the next day he sent an email to 800, so he sent an
All
email to the
all
entire.
employees, yes.
Okay.
On our, yes, accusing me of, I have the email here. I'm like, oh my God. 2 teachers did respond to it and said, I do not fear Mrs. Carmean.
Can I see the email?
Certainly. Oh, maybe you can. Gosh, I just had it. Okay, well,
All right, so the email expressed that he was afraid of you?
yes. Okay, I weigh 100 pounds. Okay, I'm sorry, this was a response, but this is the actual part of it, and then it goes on to the next page. That was the teacher's response. I'm sorry, I heard the original email that he sent out, but that's where it says, Dear Washington Local Family.
Okay, all right, so
That, okay, I'm sorry, go ahead, ask your question.
okay, so expressing distrust, I guess, is what I'm reading. It was expressing distrust in you
Correct, I guess you'd
as a
say.
board member.
Yes.
And you were not teaching at this time?
No, because I retired in 2013, and then I did run for the school board in 2013, because I cannot do both. Actually, I was subbing, then I had to resign even from that.
Okay.
So once I became a board member, I could no longer sub in my district either.
Okay, so then what happened?
Okay, well, it's interesting you say this, because he basically went against the reprimand, because this to me is intimidation. Again, the attorneys were brought in, and they felt it was a non-issue. And he continued to be superintendent, and then more information came in. There was an investigation, more information came in, and then one of our board members spoke with him, and he did choose to resign as a superintendent. He was not fired like I wanted to, because I felt it was very inappropriate what he has done to staff members, but he did resign.
So more information came in terms of his
Yes.
his inappropriate relationship with a staff member?
Yes. Yes.
But that staff member is not you.
Correct.
And it was not, well, a staff member wouldn't be a student, so never mind. Okay.
Well, no, it was a staff member.
So he chose to resign.
He chose to resign. He was given a settlement of, I believe it was $217,000. We did not, we allowed him to get, we did not dispute that he could get unemployment after, because he was technically employed with us, I think, until July 31st, and then he could get unemployment. We did not detest that. Now the unemployment is over.
Did the staff member that was involved with in the relationship agree with this course of action?
Oh,
Or
no.
did she,
No, it's,
he, I don't,
no, it's, because unfortunately I spoke to her a couple weeks after we gave him even the letter of reprimand, and I apologized to her. Because I said, I'm sorry I did not protect you. I mean, she went into the relationship, but she wanted it to stop and he would not stop.
Okay, so she went it out.
Oh, yes.
All right.
I mean, there's documentation of that. And he would not, and that's what came to us. She made a formal complaint and it came to the board members. And we saw the text messages, emails, lots of information.
Okay, so now this all was 18 months ago.
Correct.
So what,
Okay, but in the interim, lots of things have happened with this man. He resigned. He went on the Denny Schaefer show the next morning and ranted and raved at Denny Schaefer, why didn't you protect me? You know, you're my friend, blah, 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 blah. And just went on, and then he did bring up my name and another person's names, because we were the ones that proceeded to get elected, and our agenda was to get rid of him. I had no idea until I received information that he was having any kind of a relationship with a staff member until August of 2015. I'm like,
was Mr. Hickey ever your superintendent?
yes, when I was teaching.
So you were teaching and he was your superintendent?
That is correct.
For a period of time?
Yes,
Okay, so you go to Denny Schaefer, he complains about you on the air?
he did. He said my name, mine and the board members, we were the reason we were out to get to fire him. And of course I can never reply to anything because I need to be quiet.
Did you have disagreements with him when he was your superintendent?
There was an email I sent to him, well, actually, when I was superintendent, when I was a teacher, we have proficiency teachers and they get one-year contracts. They are teachers, but they're extra teachers to help with literacy or math, and I was a reading teacher, so I did have several. And I felt, and I wrote him this letter, I felt that we needed to give, for example, we had one person that was a proficiency teacher for 10 years, never got a full-time job, yet miraculously, people that he knew got jobs, after maybe a year. Now this I do not think is correct. Then let's get rid of that person if that's a bad person, she's not doing her job. So I wrote that, and he goes, well, he was happy with the way things were going. Okay, so that was one. And then now I'm on the school board. I retired, go on the school board. We were at a luncheon for the children that are in grades 4 to 8. Great day, kids having a scavenger hunt, principals are there, the kids are there. I know some of the kids because they're from my building. And he he wants the children to come up and sing a song, just sing a few notes. And he's going to give an example of what a song would be. So he starts the ABC song. He's standing on a table, and he goes ABC all the way until you get to the letter P. And if you know the song, he leaves that letter out. So he says, okay, why do you think why did I leave that letter out? And he says the words, it's running down my leg. I'm sorry. I thought that as a parent, And I knew the kids in there, and I thought, oh my God, and then even the principal next to me like sighed. I'm like, oh my God, we never talk like that. I shouldn't say never teachers, but we don't. This is the superintendent of our district. Okay, so I sent him an email, which I had a copy of, I don't have it here with me, and I said, you know, it was a great day, the kids were having a great time, because you have to build them up. You're having a great day, great time, the kids are having a great time, and then you wanted them to sing a song, which I thought, hey, what a great idea, sure, bring them up. And you proceed to sing that song. He responds back to me, he says, I regretfully disagree with you. We're gonna have to agree to disagree. This was appropriate for this age level. I'm speechless. As a teacher, as a mother, no, this is never appropriate. So that was one that he didn't like. I'm the only one that complained, is what he said. Do you think any of those principals are going to complain in that room? I'm a board member. I technically am his boss along with 4 other people. Do you think any administrator is going to say anything? Of course not. They'd lose their jobs. I worked in the district. He taught with fear, or he led with fear. And I could, I could resign or retire anytime I wanted. But these people could not say anything because they would lose their job. I was a building rep for my teachers union in my building. People would tell me things, they go, no, don't tell anybody. I go, okay.
Okay.
So then in the interim, he would contact us on our emails because he was not allowed anymore on our property because he did an incident at a basketball game. Oh my God, it's just like, it just goes on. I mean, when he was on our property, I was at a game at Whitmer High School, a basketball game, and he's sitting across from me, his son was playing. He runs over to the side where I was sitting, and he could have, to talk to the person behind me who was a friend of mine, but an acquaintance of his, he could have went alongside him, but he chose to come like right next to me, and he's like right there and talk to this man. And then he runs right in front of me on the bleachers to talk to these kids next to me, give them high fives. And then he was at another game at Central Catholic. Oh, this is, now since then, he was at one of our basketball games, and there were some issues with him yelling at the refs, and he was escorted out like 3 times. And this is when we banned him from our property. He was no longer to be at any school function, whether it was off campus, but our function, our sponsored function. I was at a Central Catholic game where his daughter plays for Whitmer, but it was at the Central Catholic. I was there, I sat on the opposite side. I didn't sit on the Whitmer side. I went up to the concession stand. He's talking to 3 of my Whitmer students, and he says, ask her why I can't talk at graduation. Ask her. I'm like, I should have went to comfort those children, but I didn't. I walked away to avoid any incident because I do not want to bring children into a situation like this. And then a couple months ago, I was at St. Ursula. Our girls were playing basketball, freshmen, JV, and varsity. His daughter is on the girls' basketball team. He is allowed to go to other properties, but not ours. I, again, sat on the opposite side, not to interfere, because I didn't know when he was going to be at the game. I get a call halfway through the varsity game, because I think his daughter was playing varsity that night. And someone goes, hey, you're at the game? I go, what? He goes, your picture's on social media. So he's taking a picture with me, and it's kind of blurred, but I have this kind of bright pink purse, and you know this is me. And he states on it, he tweets it out, it says something like, why do board members feel the need to sit on the opposing side and not sit with the taxpayers and parents? Like, so I just will not stop. I have documentation that he sent out. Again, it's a Facebook post about myself and another board member. Actually, it's telling why he was removed from being superintendent. This was on April 6th
Of this year?
of this year.
Can I see that?
Yes. And then the other text message are the recent ones he sent me. Again, I didn't know he was in here. And these are the most recent, and that's why I came down again. He texted me today while I was in the courthouse. I'm like, no. I didn't open it.
Okay, so he says, I look forward to November, or you say I look?
No, he does. That's all his writing. You'll see mine in a bigger black board when I tell him, please do not contact me. He is running for the Washington Local School Board.
Is there a police report that you filed?
Yes. I filed one on Monday, and then I had to come back on Tuesday, but that one's not in yet. Or the Monday one isn't in yet. So I have the initial one where he sent out the emails. And then I have one from,
Who's Mike?
Mike was my husband. Okay, let me explain the situation. My husband was a superintendent at Washington Local. He taught there back in the 70s. Then he was a superintendent for 13 years. He retired in 2007. My husband died in 2009. Patrick Hickey has requested my husband's public records for the last 7 years of my husband's employment. My husband has been dead for 8 years. Now he's requested mine too, but I don't care because there's nothing, and there's nothing in my husband's. But you see what he's doing. I mean, my husband is dead. This is so disrespectful to my children.
Who's Terry Kern?
Terry Kern is she's someone that lives close in proximity to central office where Patrick Hickey's office would be. And she only found out about this because we had this, like 200 people turned out at a board meeting in August of 2015 because someone put out the word that we were going to fire Patrick Hickey. Well, that was not a true fact at that time. We were just going through information. So he's referring that I'm going to send information to her because somehow he thinks I'm involved with things that have been said about her. And then I did send him again, because the legal said, send him again. Send it saying, do not contact me, which I did. I got here today, like an hour ago, he contacted me, he goes, okay, I won't contact you anymore. I didn't open it.
Is that the police report on your, in front of you?
Yes. He also took something off my car, but that's petty theft and I can't prove he took it. Those are just, but the other one's not up yet, I guess.
Okay, is there anything that he said to you that is a threat to physically harm you?
Not that I can recall, no, no, not physical. But I don't know what he's capable of. People have told me they've seen him close to Whitmer High School. Again, he could be on public property. Like when the teachers are getting released, he's there watching them, for lack of a better word, I don't know what else to call it. He has also ridden his bike or jogged past his victim's home out in Sylvania. He went to my superintendent's house, our new one, Fortunately, her husband was home. He has looked in the superintendent's windows, which actually is on our property. Just, I don't know what he's capable of, but I cannot stay in my house all the time. Whenever I do go anywhere, I text my sister, my friends, whatever, I'm going here, I'm here, okay, now I'm leaving. I carry a baseball bat. I cannot live like this. I'm fearful for my neighbors. I'm fearful for everybody that I'm with, because I just don't know what this man will do.
Okay, I'm gonna take a recess.
Okay,
Take all of these things with me.
thank you.
I will be back shortly.